Okay, there's a scene in John Wick 2 that involves a pencil, and I'm pretty sure the Joker would be very proud of John Wick for using that pencil. Am I right, Joker? I'm right. So after the surprise hit that was the first John Wick, there was going to be a sequel. Now I will fully admit that the first John Wick movie could have just been its own movie. I would have been perfectly fine if we just left it at that. But there's a sequel, and is it good or is it bad? Let's find out. Of course it's not bad, it's amazing. So what's the plot of this movie? Now this movie does take place a few days after the events of the first John Wick. John Wick is still hunting down criminals, but here's the thing about the criminals he's hunting down. Remember that jerk in the first movie who killed his dog? Well, in the opening scene of the movie, he's going after that guy's uncle because he decided to steal John Wick's car. Okay, when are people ever going to realize that if you either A, kill John Wick's dog, or B, steal his car, you're going to get screwed? How come no one notices that yet? But still, after an amazing action scene, and also I pointed this out to my brother when we were watching, you know what, John Wick claims he likes that car, but in this action scene he completely destroyed it. He was like a final derby, so yeah. Now, after that scene, he basically is still grieving the death of his wife, until he's approached by a man who said, "Hey John Wick, in the first movie I helped you survive, we have a contract to pay," and basically he's saying, if you don't help me, you know the consequences, and you'll be breaking the rules. And he's basically forced against his life to kill the dude's sister in order for that person to become the head of the crime syndicate. And yeah, but unfortunately, after he does the mission, the guy decides to put a bounty on John Wick's head, and whoever does it gets, well, basically hunts him down and kills him, gets about $7 million. That's a lot of money, I'm not gonna lie. And now John Wick has to fight for his life to take down all these assassins and kill the main mob's boss. And I'll admit, while the first movie does have a good revenge story, I do like the plot in this movie just as much. One thing I love about these two films is the theme of choice. In the first film, John Wick had a choice to go after the crime boss. He didn't have to kill him, but he decided to do it as revenge for killing his dog. In this movie, he has no choice. It's either live or die. And also, we have a new dog this time around, and he gets some cute moments in there. He's so adorable. So bad he doesn't have a name. What, are they gonna pull a bird box and just name him Dog like the woman did for the girl and the boy? Your girl and your boy. Still. But still, Keanu Reeves does an impressive job as always as of course John Wick. He is really good at acting, and he's a lot of fun in this movie. The action scenes in this movie are better than the first one. In fact, this action scenes in this movie reminds me a lot of the action from Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And if a movie is reminding me of this movie, then you know something is right, since I adore this movie to no end. I freaking love this movie. Especially in the hand-to-hand fights. And I like how these movies use bullets effectively, since they point out that, hey, bullets have ammo in it, and basically, whenever John Wick runs out of ammo, he has to use stuff like just hand-to-hand fights and stuff like that. And also, there's a suicide scene in this movie, and I was surprised, honestly, by it. Also, Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie, and he is hilarious in this film. Seriously, every moment he's on screen is just a blast to watch. And my only problem, and this is my only problem with the movie, is that I really wish we could have had more not more John Wick, I mean more of Lawrence Fishburne, since he was hilarious in this movie. And from my knowledge, Keanu Reeves was in The Matrix, so, Matrix reunion month, hey. But still. Another thing I do like about this movie is how, like, the villain is all proper and stuff. And that ending was just so glorious to behold, in my opinion. And seriously, it does such a good job of leading into the third John Wick. Also, I will admit, the trailers, they should not have shown the last part where they show all these assassins lined up to kill John Wick. Because, at the park. But still. Also, I like how this movie decides to pit John Wick against all of these grouped assassins. Since in the first movie, he was just going up against simple mobsters. Basically, like, lower-ranked thugs. Here, he is going up against trained killers. And he basically has to fight all these guys at once. One thing I love about this movie is how, like, when the bounty went off, whenever you look at a phone ringing, it feels sort of like a horror movie. Like, you're like, oh man, all these guys are coming at him at once. It's gonna be good. And also, remember how earlier I was talking about a pencil? Yeah, Heath Ledger, eat your heart out. John Wick literally used a pencil and killed 5 men. Well, 3 people in the bar and 2 out of the van. And also, I like how they showed more of the Continental stuff. And of course, the Dobell Man, he is hilarious in this movie. I like most of his scenes like this. Are you pleasant with your stay, Mr. Wick? Yes. And I do like that one opening, that one scene where basically when they're fighting in the Continental, they're like, boys, you know the rules, no fighting in this place. This is a free place to fight, no fighting here. And basically they sit down and have a bar, honestly, which is nice in my opinion. I don't have much problems with John Wick Chapter 2, honestly. I think the film was really well done. The action was spectacular. Keanu Reeves was phenomenal as always. Lawrence Fishburne, phenomenal. Like, seriously, I wish he was more, and when I see John Wick Chapter 3, I hope he's in that movie a lot more, since, man. Also, that line where he says, please, get this man a gun. I was laughing hysterically. And to think, 1 year later, another character in a Marvel movie would say that, and get this man a shield. I'm sorry, I just thought of that when I saw that movie. But still, John Wick Chapter 2 is a phenomenal movie, and I would highly recommend you see this film. Overall rating, 10 out of 10 for an S rank. I have very few flaws with this film. It is an amazing film, and it's currently one of my favorite movies now, and I've only seen the movie like once. Wow. But still, I am deeply excited for John Wick Chapter 3, and I hope to God it's amazing like this film. See you all later, and bye. Also, I forgot to mention this, but I will say the movie is a lot more funny, mainly due to the fact that mainly due to the reactions. Like, whenever a character is fighting, they have these funny reactions that get me to laugh, so yeah. Sorry I forgot to mention that, but still, I would definitely give this movie a solid S rank. So, see you all later, and who knows, maybe we will review the 3rd movie, or maybe I won't be allowed to see it, since it's in theaters. So, see you all later, and bye. For real this time. It gets an S rank.